Hey, hey, mama friends. Welcome back to another awesome episode of the Mama Work It podcast. So glad you're here as always. I am excited. If you're new in town, my name is Marisa Lonic. I am the founder of Mama Work It, where we support women in the juggle of mom life, work life, wife life, fill in the blank life. Also a working mama of 4 kiddos. Extra excited today, you guys, because I've got one of my biz besties, one of my IRL, in case you don't know what that stands for in real life. Just thought I'd tell you because sometimes I don't know what those stand for. Friends on the show. Her name is Michelle Purta. She's been here before, so go back and listen to her other episodes if you haven't already. One is way back in the day about relationships. One is also back in the day, but not as far back, on human design, and we'll link them in today's show notes too. But I invited her back because we're in the holiday season, and I know she would be an incredible guest to talk about the holiday mental load. So let me give you a quick intro of who she is in case you don't know her. You need to get to know her, just so you know. Michelle Purta, she is a mom of 3, a marriage coach, and the host of the Marriage and Motherhood Podcast. She helps parents strengthen their partnerships so they can feel like a team again, and more importantly, actually enjoy their marriage instead of feeling like co-parents or roommates. She loves guiding couples through the messy middle of marriage and parenthood, helping them find their way back to each other. After realizing how much becoming a parent had shifted her own marriage, Michelle became passionate about helping couples build the essential skills for a happy and healthy relationship. She teaches her clients how to communicate better, resolve conflict with compassion, and stay connected even in the busiest seasons of life. We are currently in one, friends, the holiday season. So this is the perfect topic to talk about. Michelle, thank you for being here
Thanks for
again.
having me back. I love being
Yeah.
here.
All right, Michelle, for those listening who maybe have not heard a previous episode you've been on or just are unfamiliar with who you are, give us the quick and dirty background story of Michelle Purta. Tell us how you got into this biz, who you are, what you do, all the things.
Yeah. So I am a mom of 3. I'm a stepmom to my oldest, and I have so he just got his driver's permit. So way to make me feel old. Um, and then I have a 9-year-old and a 5.5-year-old. And after I had my 9-year-old, so it's been this long, I had every intent of going back to work. I was doing project management for a company you might know, Ross Dress for Less. I worked in their corporate office, and something in me, call it intuition, call it whatever, told me not to go back, told me stay home. And what started off as like thinking, oh, I can do the stay-at-home mom thing, made me realize I'm not built to be a stay-at-home mom. This is not going to be me. I need something else. And so after exploring different avenues of like, okay, what do? I live in the Bay Area. I need to also make money to live in this expensive place, which we have since relocated to Georgia. And I had a few people come to me and talk to me about life coaching. At the time, zero clue. I had no idea what that was. I had studied psychology, so I was familiar with like the counseling and therapy world. And after exploring that, I actually got trained in it because I was so intrigued by how it helps people move forward, how it helps people expand their perspective and mindset and really give them that like activation that they need to go after their goals, to live their best life. And so upon doing that, I realized that I really have a soft spot for moms, especially having gone through, co-parenting, raising, my husband's son, and then having our own child. I just experienced such a big change. Like many moms, like all moms, I'll say, once you transition from just woman and wife to woman, wife, and mom. And I recognized how much I lost myself in that and how much it affected my marriage. And so at that point, now it's been 8 years, I want to say, since I have been doing marriage coaching. And what started off as just serving moms, right? Just working individually with moms and helping them build the skill set to have healthy, happy marriages and influence change in their marriage for the better. I started working with couples a few years ago, and I literally, like, I can't go back. I love it so much. It's so fulfilling to be able to see couples come in really curious, like, I don't know if this is going to work. Like, I want to try my best, but I just don't know if we can change the way we need to so that we can enjoy it again. And just to see things go, like, do a 180 to, like, my favorite phrase that a past client has said to me is that she went from, dating her husband back since middle school, then getting married, having 2 kids, they now have teenagers, feeling like, oh my gosh, I resent this man. I don't even like him most days. Her husband would say, I like the weekend version of her. I don't like the weekday version of her. I don't know what happened to us. To, we are so smitten with each other. I mean,
full
dating
body
for
chills.
like 20 plus years, right? And still being able to be like, oh my gosh, after the work, we can say this about each other. And now they're like more in love than ever before. And it's just so inspiring, like the type of work these people do and how open they are to learning something different and trying and failing and then succeeding. So I've just loved being able to help people do that, like provide what I basically didn't have growing up, right? I did not grow up with a healthy model for relationships like many of us, and had to fail my way through relationships and recognize, oh, I actually need a lot of growing to actually have the type of relationship that I want. And it really does come down to learning the essential skills for a healthy, happy marriage. It's not just for the lucky people. It's not like, oh, only famous people have this, and that's even, like, debatable. Or it's only for the people who are like perfect. It's like, no, you literally just need to have the skills down, the commitment to do the work, and just nurture the connection. That's it. And so teaching these, like, is like a really refreshing sense of relief for my clients, thinking that what they originally were, like, maybe doubting that they could get to that point, and then seeing that the work does work if you do it. So I just love being able to kind of like give that sense of hope and relief to people and bring back that joy that they really truly signed up for when they said I do.
Yeah. Yeah. For someone listening who maybe has not had coaching before, why would they choose coaching in their relationship over going to marriage counseling or therapy?
Yes, I love this question. Okay, so if you look at therapy versus coaching by design, therapy is for those who need to go back in time and do a lot of healing. So people with trauma, big T or little t, okay, not just like the big stuff. And also those who have mental health concerns that need support that would require a diagnosis. That's what they specialize in, trauma and diagnosis. They are trained to find the thing that's wrong and then fix, right? So they're great with helping you get to a baseline of wellness. Whereas coaching is really to help propel you forward. It's skill-based, it's goal-based, it's action-based. And so a lot of it does overlap, but they are very different. And so with traditional marriage counseling, it's a lot of going into the session together. And for me, I didn't want to go that route because, like I said, I have a psychology background. I didn't want to go that route because I thought it'd be very counterproductive, where I would just sit there and essentially be a referee. Listening to two people argue, talking over each other, no one's listening. Whereas with my approach with marriage coaching, I actually see my clients as 3 different clients: spouse 1, spouse 2, and then the marriage. So I'm truly supporting each client in their own right? So everyone has a safe space to speak, not worrying about, oh my gosh, I know I'm going to get it after this session. I know what I said offended them. I know what I said hurt their feelings or whatever, right? Or maybe even shield what they're going to say because, oh, I don't know if they're ready to hear this, or I'm afraid of what their reaction's going to be. What if they don't love me anymore because they say this? What if they're going to be upset with me? We don't have any of that with the way I've structured my coaching, because everyone has their own space and time to work with me. And then we also work together. So I don't know if that answered your question, but there is overlap. But I do feel like if you're not the type of couple who has issues with trauma affecting your marriage, addiction, mental health concerns, what you really need is coaching and not therapy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's super helpful because I just try to put myself in a listener's shoes hearing this and probably only being familiar with marriage counseling or therapy because that's just what they've heard about in the past. And I know coaching, I'm a coach too, and I know it's still sort of new to people, a lot of people out there, right? Or they don't necessarily think about it from a marriage perspective or a relationship perspective. So I think that's great clarity. All right, well, let's dive in further to this holiday topic because we're pretty much in it. We're in the thick of it, right? The holidays are coming. And I feel like moms often bear the mental load when it comes to this season. So I want to talk about what does that entail? Because I don't know about you, Michelle, but like they call it invisible labor because we're not always keeping track of all the stuff we're doing, right? But the mental load gets heavier and heavier and heavier. And the holidays, I think especially, can just really push us over the edge. And so let's dive further into this. Like, what does the mental load look like around the holidays? How can we as moms like not bear the brunt of it?
Yeah. I think traditionally we have been seen as like the magic makers, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I saw this reel where it was like the husband's like, don't worry about it, it'll just work out. And then it hands over to the wife. It's like, this is what it looks like for things to work out. It's me. I'm the person that makes it work,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so it's no surprise that by the end of the holiday season, the mom, the wife, whatever you want to call it, like that role ends up super burned out, super resentful, hating everybody. They can't even be present during the holidays because they're just like, on to the next thing, or what do I need to worry about? What do I need to, I'm concerned about everybody else. But for me, I'm just like this like cog in a machine that's just churning everything, right? I'm the person that's keeping track of who's getting what. I'm the person who's doing the shopping around, the research, thinking about budget, thinking about Christmas cards, planning photo shoots. What are people going to wear? Like I can easily spout this list out. And I know many of you listeners can also do this because you have been doing this too. I mean, take a look at your browser tabs. How many you got open right now? How much stuff is in your shopping cart right now?
Too many.
Okay. It's a lot, right? And I am just not available for it to all fall on me anymore. And in the past, not too distant past, it has fallen on me. And I'll actually correct myself. I'm not even going to say fallen because that sounds like it happened to me. I let it happen. I picked it up, right? And look, I don't know what level of partnership you have with your marriage right now with your spouse, but what I will tell you is I bet your husband will be more than happy to have a different version of you during the holiday season. I'm sure that they will be all for experiencing more joy, less stress, and just doing away with a lot of the stuff that maybe you feel like you need to do, right? So a lot of this conversation is going to be about being intentional, right? I think that between what we grew up with and what we're expecting ourselves to carry on, social media telling us what we need to be doing and what would make us a good mom and give our kids the best experience or whatever, like we need to come back home to our own desires of what we are wanting to curate and experience and align that with our spouse to just make decisions for what serves us best, not anyone else outside your house, just you, right? I think we too often put too much weight into other people's feelings, like your parents, his parents, your friends, the school, whoever. They're not the ones who are going to bear the brunt of who you become if you say yes to all of those things, if you put all of that on yourself. So the key really is being intentional through this season. And I know you talk about being intentional so much. And so this is no different. With any other area of your life, you especially need to be intentional through the holiday season if you even want an ounce of more joy in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. I do talk about this, and I just want to preface it by saying, I get it. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. And I want to layer on like the holiday part of it, because holidays are sort of like this timestamp of like pressure to create core memories, right? And especially I'll add, if you're like a working mom who maybe isn't always present at all the other things, right? Like you can't necessarily be at all the volunteer opportunities at school, or I don't know, fill in the blank, right? Every practice, every sports game, whatever. You might be putting this additional layer of pressure around the holidays because it's like maybe what you remember from your childhood, or, you know, like you said, that word magic maker, like you've sort of taken, like you've put this magic maker hat on, right? And, you know, when we sort of numb out and we scroll social media and we see all these incredible, crafty Pinterest winning moms, it's like we take a piece of everything we're scrolling through, and the algorithm, once we stop and look at one, it's going to feed us, you know, 200 of them. We just like add more and more and more to our own list of like what we want to do. And maybe that is fun and exciting to us, but like 200's a bit obsessive and obscene, right? For anyone. So we can't possibly say yes to all that stuff. So I like how you said, like, we're picking up the things by like on our own, like no one's giving them to us. We're making that conscious choice. How do we make the conscious choice to like not pick it all up?
I love this. And I'm going to simplify it for you because it is really easy to get carried away. You're like, oh, that's cute. Oh, the kids would love this. Da, 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 da. But if you actually zoom out and like pretend you said yes to all of the things, would you like the outcome? Do you want to be dysregulated and burned out? Do you want your kids to be dysregulated and burned out, right? Imagine shuttling them from party to party to party, event to event to event, right? Because there's the community events too, like the tree lighting and the arts and crafts things and da, 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 da. Kids love downtime. They need it. And so do we, right?
Yes.
So if you were to actually play it out in your mind, doing all of those things, will you experience the holiday season the way you want to? Now, here's the kicker. A lot of people don't think about, how do I want to experience this season? They just kind of dread it, right? They just think about like, oh, here we go again. And they kind of just brace themselves and just anticipate this is just going to be a shitty time of year. And I'm going to have to smack a smile on my face to pretend that we're all happy and love each other. You know, kind of like when you get ready for a family photo shoot, it's always like super difficult. And
oh my gosh,
like yelling in the car on the way to the photo shoot place. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, let's love each other. Yay.
And you look like the happiest family ever on your holiday card. Yeah.
Exactly.
But you don't know what went into getting that photo.
No. And everyone I talk to, it's like that. It's like a universal experience. And so my simple, very easy tip to follow for this is just spend some time before that time comes thinking about 2 feelings that you want to feel.
Ooh,
2.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, it could be, okay, I want to feel relaxed and I want to feel connected. Okay. So those are our words. So much like in the new year when we pick a word or a mantra, whatever, to anchor our year for like what we want to kind of strive for or grow towards. Same thing for this season. If relaxed and connected are my feelings that I'm aiming for, then I could literally hold up every choice to those 2 words. Does that fit? And if I want it to fit, is there a different way I can approach it so that it actually aligns with how I want to curate this experience? On the flip side, I also think it's important to think about what's one feeling I don't want to feel. and keep that in mind. And again, hold things up to it. So like that one party that your aunt throws that you cannot stand because they just ask you all these questions that make you feel judged and like not accepted, and you just feel like you're crawling under your skin, like I just can't wait to go home. Does that align with how you want to feel and how you not want to feel? Right? And so I think that's a great simple way for you to kick off this conversation with not only yourself, but with your kids and your spouse. And maybe everyone has a little bit of a different word, right? But you're going to keep all of them in mind when you're doing all this stuff anyway. Why not make an aligned family vision of how you want to experience the holidays? And I actually do this for family vacations as well. What's one thing you want to experience in order to, like, if we did that one thing, you would feel like this trip was a success. And how do you want to feel on this trip, right? I think the more intentional we are going into things, the more conscious we are of setting our boundaries, saying yes, saying no, and really having something to measure it up to. Like, is this something I want to do? Rather than feeling that pressure of like, oh, we got invited, we can't say no because they might be offended. But if you have relaxed and connected as your words, you're like, well, we kind of already have some other non-negotiable events that we want to go to, and this just doesn't fit that feeling that we want to create. So you could just be like, thank you so much for inviting us. We would love to get together with you come January. Right now, our schedule's kind of full right now, but we would love to get together then. You could still show appreciation and say that you want to spend time with them and deliver on that. It doesn't have to be in this small time frame where it's like there's a million things going on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. People do have a hard time saying no, myself included. I mean, it's just sometimes it's uncomfortable. So I get it. All right. I want to think about now. I love that intentionality. I love the word approach. I think that is so smart because it really just simplifies it. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about sort of like the stuff within, let's say, your nuclear family, like the gift buying, the hosting, like more of like the laborious tasks, maybe I'll call them, right? Like the things that you just got to get done, right? To like, I don't know, decorating the tree, like getting all those things, right? Or whatever you're celebrating during the season. Okay. If you are married or in a relationship, what are some ways to share that mental load with your significant other so you're not feeling as the mom of the house, like it's all falling on your shoulders?
Yes. So just like with the division of labor, people don't know what they don't see, right? It kind of just happens and they kind of benefit from that. And if we want to continue that and that works for you, you do you. Okay. If you absolutely love doing all these things and it's not causing you to feel burnout and resentment, then continue doing it by all means. Mm-hmm. For me, I do get resentful and I'm aware of that. And so what I do is I literally spell it all out, everything that needs to be done. And then I also let him spell it all out because I cannot assume that I know every single thing that he does that's in relation to the holiday season, right? Because he's got stuff that I don't even think about, like making sure the car is ready to go, making sure that specific areas of the house are ready to like have people over. Like right now we have our fume hood that needs to, I don't know, something needs to be done with it. But I wouldn't even think about it, right? And so have a meeting. Just have a meeting, spell it all out. This is what all needs to be done. And pick one person to own each task. And when I say pick, I don't mean like you assign it, right? Because you're not owning this process of figuring out who's doing what, right? We are not playing the role of mom. We're playing the role of teammate. Okay? These are all the things that need to be tackled. You can put them on Post-it notes. You can list them out on a Google Doc. Like, do whatever works for you. And literally let him in on the process of everything that happens. Okay? Because you can easily be like, but it's so easy for me to just handle it. Okay, sure. In the moment, it might be. But if you add up all the other things that you do, and if it has a negative impact on how you treat your husband through the process, it's not worth it. Don't do that. Okay? He's not going to like you. You're not going to like you. You're not going to like each other. Your kids are going to feel it, and it's going to deeply impact your experience of the holidays, and it's going to go against the feelings that you want to experience, right? And so I would do that, from teachers' gifts to shopping for groceries to figuring out budget to who's going to buy it, who's going to plan, who's going to prep, who's going to do the day of execution stuff. Just have one person own each of the things. That doesn't mean that you can't help each other out, but have one person own end to end so that you know and there's no confusion. I think a lot of conflict during the holiday season comes from like unmet expectations, aka expectations that were not communicated, most likely, right? And also having confusion of like when things need to be done by, who's gonna do it, right? And so make sure all of that is ironed out and it's clear, as if you're running a project, okay? Who's gonna do it? Assume that if there's no owner, it's gonna fall through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
Don't assume that, okay, well, I've done this in the past, then I'm just gonna pick it up. Mm-mm. Do not do that to yourself. If you're aiming for relaxed, calm, anything in that world, peaceful, enjoyable, if you're aiming for those feelings, you've got to start sharing the load. And you might be like, but he works so hard. Cool, so do you. And what? Right? You're in a partnership. And a lot of that I have to coach my clients through, the females one in particular, is the ability to receive. We talk so much about, well, I don't get the help. What happens when they offer to help? Do you shoot them down? What happens when you're like overwhelmed and you can't tell them, but you're like getting on them for not doing more, right? So some of that falls on us as women to be willing to allow them to do things their way. Just so long as you spell out what the end goal is, who cares how they get there? Let them find their own process. And this applies to child rearing too. A lot of times people are like, I don't like the way you talk to them, right? Or I don't like how you loaded the dishwasher. Well, did the dishes get clean? Don't watch. Like, get out of the room. That's truly what I tell people to do. Like, leave the room. Don't even watch. If it bugs you how they do it, don't watch. Just let them support you, support the household, be a contributing member of the family, and soak in the lack of needing to do all of the things. Let your load lighten and feel like this is okay for me. It's okay for me to relax. It's okay for me to have downtime. I don't need to earn it. We're in this together. This is not a one-woman household, right? If you've got a partner, leverage that. Leverage your kids. They can learn from this.
Well, let's talk about that. Like, what if you are a one-woman household? What if you are a single parent?
Yes.
And you don't have that partnership right now, and we are in the holiday season. Do you have any tips for that listener?
Yes, absolutely. Simplify the fuck out of your life. Really, you can't be everywhere. Yeah. If you have family, delegate. Like, lean in on their support. If they're willing to take your kids somewhere or take your kids for a couple hours so you can do something, do that. All right? Say no to more things. Following that like feeling thing, like the word of the season, that can still apply to you. How do you want to feel? And be honest about your capacity. This applies to everyone, whether you're a single parent or you're in a marriage or partnership. Be realistic about your capacity, because we easily take on too much. And then we're like, crap, I don't like how I feel. I'm waking up tired. I'm snapping at people and I'm not fun to be around. I'm just worn out. Okay, well, what can you do about it? Can you empower yourself to be proactive about what you can say no to, what you can say yes to, and have it aligned with how you want to experience this season? So yeah, if you're a single parent and you can afford to do so, hire out some things. I'm sure you can find a college kid or something to wrap your presents for you if you want it, right? There are plenty of people out there who are willing to do the stuff that you don't want to do or don't have the time to do or just like whatever. So don't be afraid to leverage that or simplify. So if finances are an issue, which tends to come up a lot in, the gift giving realm, be intentional about that. Maybe you're going to focus more on experiences. Maybe you're going to focus more on fewer gifts, but things that are more meaningful to them, or handmade gifts, right? There's lots of ways that you can change how you curate this experience, and know that the heart of the season is togetherness, right? Can you focus on that? Can you focus on and define for yourself what enough is? And let you stand on that. Just stand on what you find to be true for yourself, so that you don't fall to the pressures of what other people define as enough for them, right? Come back to you. I think that's plain and simple. That's the message for this whole podcast, is come back to you. Be honest with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. I mean, that word exercise is just really sticking with me. I love it because I do that at the beginning of the year, but I never thought about doing it intentionally for the holiday season. And it makes so much sense. So I'm going to borrow that one. All right. Last question before we head into our lightning round here. Because you know me, I love a good habit. I love a good productivity hack. So how can we bring this mental load sharing energy that we're going to all be implementing after listening to this episode into the new year, and really make this stick and create a new habit for ourselves in this way? So we're not kind of going back to that previous version of ourselves where we do take on the majority of the mental load, the invisible labor. I know it's going to get quieter after the holidays, but that doesn't mean it's not going to ramp up in other ways.
Yeah. So what I'm sharing today is applicable to any busy season or any season of your life, period. Mm-hmm. And one thing I highly recommend, this isn't quite a habit, although I guess you could think of it as a habit. It's really important to debrief. So come January, maybe a week or two after the new year, once things have settled down, it's important to sit down and be like, okay, how did that go?
Yeah.
Right? What worked? What didn't work? What do I want to keep doing? What do I not want to keep doing?
Yeah, because you'll forget.
You can carry that forward. Exactly. Mm-hmm. You're going to forget. And for me, it's all about evolving, right? Every year getting better. The more intentional I am, the more clear I become about what I like and what I don't like, what I am a yes for, what am I a no for, what are my boundaries, and getting more strong at putting them in place and maintaining them, right? So what if you can essentially hack your life like that? Mm-hmm. But you need to spend that time reflecting first, on the forefront of what are my values for this season. And then on the back end, how did I do aligning my values with the types of things that I said yes to? Do I need to tighten up in some places? Do I need to loosen up in some places? What did I learn about myself? What did I learn about my kids? What did I learn about my husband? What did I learn about my marriage, right? If you are wanting to stay connected, then isn't it just spending time together? You can accomplish that in many different ways. You can accomplish that staying at home, doing absolutely nothing, watching a Christmas movie under blankets, playing board games, right? This season doesn't have to mean anything that's costly if that's what you want, right? So really, truly just getting in the habit of reflecting and being honest with yourself about how you're doing against what you are desiring for how you want to live your life.
Yeah. Michelle, so many good mic drop moments in today's episode. Thank you. I'm going to ask you some random fun personal questions I may know the answer to, but I'm sure our listeners don't. So we're going to head into our lightning round real fast, and then we're going to wrap up. You ready?
Okay, let's do it.
What is your guilty pleasure TV show?
Yes. I have a love-hate relationship with Love is Blind.
Oh, me too.
Married at First Sight.
Oh, see, Married at First Sight, I'm over. Love is Blind's my new guilty pleasure.
Yeah. So as the seasons progress, it just becomes more and more fake, almost.
Yes.
Because they know how to game it, much like the Bachelor series. And so, I don't know. I don't know if this sounds okay, but I watch it to feel better about my life. Not gonna lie.
Oh man, that's good.
It's a hot mess in there. It's a hot mess.
You know what I started feeling? And this is bad. This is really bad. When I watch it, when they meet the parents of the significant other, I start to relate more to the parents of the people. And I'm like, holy shit, how old am I?
I know. Not old enough to have them as our kids, but
but probably closer in age sometimes to them than to the people getting married. So I'm like, oh.
In movies too, I'm like, oh wow, that's weird.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that anyway.
No.
All right, what book are you reading right now?
Okay, so I have this thing that I do where I listen to a book and I read a different book. So right now, okay, you're going to learn something about me right now. I like spicy books.
Yeah.
So I like spicy romantasy, and the sequel of a book is coming out in a couple weeks, actually. And so I'm re-listening to Quicksilver right now.
Okay.
Have you read that?
No, I haven't. Is it worth a read? It sounds like it if you're reading it twice.
Yes, I like it a lot. And
Quicksilver. Okay.
Quicksilver. And my husband likes when I read these books. Let's just put it that way. It stokes some fire. And then the book that I'm reading, actually reading, is The Housemaid. And that's being turned into, or it has been turned into a movie. And I think it's coming out in December. And it's a psychological thriller. And it's actually really good so far. I'm about almost halfway through. And that's really awesome.
That's the one you're actually reading. And Quicksilver you're listening to.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. All so right. Quicksilver, don't listen to that in front of your kids if you choose to listen. Just
no, it's spicy. It sounds like. Yeah.
If you love ACOTAR, like that series, what other series were there? There's also the Spark of the Everflame, Kendra's Curse series. If you like any of those, you will like Quicksilver.
Okay. I don't know any of those, so I don't know if I will like it, but thank you for the rec. All right. Last question, even though we just learned something interesting about you, what's something most people don't know about you?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm a pretty open book.
Yeah, you are kind of an open book, but pretend people don't know you. What's a fun fact?
Fun fact is that I used to be a yoga instructor.
I don't think I knew that.
Oh, yeah. So I got trained.
Not anymore?
And that's kind of what kicked off my personal development journey, actually. Fresh off the heels of a breakup. I was already practicing yoga and decided to dive into a yoga teacher training. This was 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what kind of turned me on to mindfulness and intuition and listening to my body. And so it's no surprise why I now love somatic work. So yeah.
So wait, are you still teaching yoga for fun?
No, I didn't. I haven't done it in so long because family life, and I just chose to drop that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I kept the mindfulness stuff, but I dropped the yoga instructing.
You dropped the yoga. Yeah, that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, Michelle, always a pleasure. Tell our listeners where they can find you, learn more about you, connect with you, all the things.
Yeah. So since you're already listening to a podcast, just hop on over to mine, click follow or whatever it says. It's called the Marriage and Motherhood Podcast. I release 2 episodes a week, 1 guest and 1 solo, and you'll find Marisa on there a whole lot. And I love to share things about how you can experience marriage and motherhood more your way, more the way you want to, not the way your mom did it, not the way your grandma did it, not the way people online are doing it, but your way, right? In a way where you can actually enjoy it, keep your marriage strong, show your kids a strong, healthy example of what it looks like to be a mom, to be a parent, to be a a human and to be a partner. Okay. And then I have awesome guests that come on to share things that help you have a better experience of mom life, whether it's like Marisa talking about time management, productivity, meditation, or, hormone stuff. I've been having a lot of menopause people come on. That's just kind of like the season that I'm in. I'm entering perimenopause, or I'm in it. I don't know what's going on. Just a whole lot of changes going on right now. And I think you'll have a good time. I think you'll find a lot of the expert episodes to be something that you can relate to. And so hop on over there, or you can find me on Instagram at Michelle Purta Coaching.
Love it. Yeah. I am so in awe that you release 2 episodes a week. Like, amazing.
Me too,
Good for
girl.
you, girl.
Me too. But honestly, it was because I got tired of sharing the stage with people, because I was like, okay, I'll do a guest episode every 3, but I was like, but that just interrupted my series. So let's do.
You got to get the ideas out. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get the ideas out before I forget them and like feel not as passionate about that, right?
Yeah.
And also, I just love meeting people and having conversations that help other people. So like, why not? I can help others and myself at the same time. It's a win-win.
I know. I learned so much on this show. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here, my friend. Appreciate you.
Thank you. It was such a blast.